and let them...
Tonight, you must consider the unthinkable. This is the Jesus side. This is what's in the book of Revelation of the Antichrist. This is the general story in case you don't know anything about Christianity. End of the world, Jesus comes back, but this is the story leading up. I did this about 5 years ago and about wet my pants when I finished the research on it. We have to take a break. We're going to come back and wait until you get to the mark of the beast. Next.
It's great to be here with Larry, Barry, and Terry, and thank you all for watching us tonight. I have done so much, and I just cannot believe that we have changed everything since I become your governor in the last 6 months.
No, because pause this motherfucker right here. All right. I told you we should not let people over 80 have a microphone, did I not? Yeah, we're getting back into this shit right about now.
Days. Arizona has been brought back from its abyss. We have cut the budget, we have balanced the budget, and we are moving forward. We have done everything that we could possibly do. We have did what was right for Arizona.
For the life of me, I can't understand why BP couldn't go in at the ocean floor, maybe 10 feet lateral to around the periphery, drill a few holes and put a little ammonium nitrate and some dynamite in those holes and detonate that dynamite and seal that leak and seal it permanently.
Well, the crystal incident, to me, was very telling. And I think it's a question of frustration that a lot of our military leaders have, frustration in their prosecution of the war in Afghanistan. Keep in mind, again, our federal candidates, this was a war of Obama's choosing. This is not something the United States had actively prosecuted or wanted to engage in.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Starr County Republican Party Executive Committee, good evening. And thank you not only for your attendance, but for allowing me the opportunity to speak. My name is Phil Davison, and I am seeking our party's nomination for the position.
Wait a minute, Phil Davidson. Nigga. That nigga's on crack. That nigga's on crack. He's on PCP too. And he had a joint. The nigga drank a 40. He got everything wrong. We're coming back to him.
Treasure. On November 10th, November of 2010, excuse me. In terms of my background, I am from the village of Minerva, where I am serving my 13th year of elected service as a Minerva Council member. In terms of elections across Starr County, I have represented our party twice on the county ballot, in both the primary and the general elections. When I ran for Starr County Clerk of Courts in 1996 and Starr County Commissioner in 2000, and I will not apologize for my tone tonight. I have been a Republican in times good, and I have been a Republican in times bad. Albert Einstein issued one of my most favorite quotes in the history of the spoken word, and it is as follows: in the middle of opportunity, excuse me, in the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. I'm going to repeat.
Yeah, why don't you repeat that? Because you're screaming shit the wrong way that you have written down. You sound like, if I may, Glenn Beck during a colonoscopy having a root canal. If I may. May I, please? Yes, I may. And I did. That's what you sound like, nigga. You need help. That's what you need. No office. Nope. Help is what you need. Let's keep it going.
I have clarity tonight. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. This is the opportunity we've been waiting for. Stark County Treasurer's Office is a mess. It is in dire need of structure and guidance. And now is the time to seize this opportunity with an aggressive campaign and an even more aggressive campaigner. If nominated tonight, I promise each and every person in this room I will hit the ground running, come out swinging, and end up winning. Let's send a message tonight to the people of Stark County and to the people of the Stark County Democratic Party. We're tired of business as usual. Drastic times require what? Drastic measures, yes! Who said that?
I'll bet it was Glenn Beck sitting in the back. There's your fucking Satan. Go check behind his ear.
Thank you! Drastic times require drastic measures! We must win this election. If nominated tonight, I will win this election. And I'm going to say that again so there's no miscommunication tonight. If nominated tonight, I win. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell Randy Gonzalez. I'm coming. Both barrels, guns loaded. I believe in the entities and the principles of the National Republican Party, the State of Ohio Republican Party, and the Stark County Republican Party. And if nominated, I will not hide those beliefs on my march to victory on Election Day. If nominated tonight, I can guarantee with 100% certainty that what you are seeing from me tonight is what everyone outside those doors is going to get over the next 8 weeks. I used to be an idealistic thinker. I am now a pragmatic thinker. Government may be about service. Politics is about winning. Tonight, as a candidate seeking the Republican nomination for the position of Stark County Treasurer, I humbly ask for your vote as members of the Stark County Republican Party Executive Committee. Thank you.
Our enemies are innovative and resourceful, and so are we. They never stop thinking about new ways to harm our country and our people, and neither do we.
Oh, Lordy. Ladies and gentlemen, it appears that William Wallace has been reincarnated and now lives in Starr County, and he's missing an English king to hate. And he instead must fight the great oppression and terrible reluctance to commit positive action done by the current Starr County Treasurer's Office, which is... That's what I hear. You know, is that what you hear? Jesus Christ. What the fuck? You know? Who does that? And if anybody in that type of... I mean, look what happened to Howard Dean. That nigga screamed one time. He was fired. This guy came out screaming, you ain't got a chance, brother. Those people clapped out of fear. They were scared of your ass. That's why people always smile at Mike Tyson. Don't nobody like that nigga. They smile at him because they don't want to get hit. They clapped out of fear because they were not sure if you were armed, both barrels loaded. Now, me personally, I would have left the room after the first minute because nobody should scream about a treasury. Nobody should scream going into the request for a nomination for a local politician's office. There's not enough to scream about. It's a small affair on the grand scale, and you should have an accompanying tone. Maybe not somber like mine is now, but William Wallace, just before the Battle of Sterling, not really befitting for the situation. A little bit overdone there. And this is why that, you know, these politicians these days that are starting to run for, you know, startup local positions and whatever, congressional representatives, they keep hearing that Barack Obama and others like him have great oratory skills, great speaking skills, can get a crowd frenzied up. Then they think they can just do it too. Well, it doesn't work out as well for older, fatter white guys, unless they say the right things. There's so much that goes into this magical speaking that some of these speakers have. They work on it. It's tempo, it's tone, it's rhythm. There's actually a rhythm. You can look up videos on this stuff about how Barack Obama captured so many audiences, even when his message during some of those speeches wasn't very powerful. This is an oratory skill. It's a speaking skill. I don't know how to do it. I've never learned it. I don't plan on focusing on learning it, but I do know that it's at play in the great orators of our time and before. So what were we talking about, dummies? Hey, Stabby McHugs, welcome to the party. Kim Ashbury Moxley has been doing the heavy lifting in our chat room tonight, and we need to give her a complimentary gold medal to go with the bronze, I think. Because who showed up first? Was it Paul Dembski? Because he hasn't been doing any lifting in there. Let me see. Let me scroll way the fuck. Yeah, Paul Dembski is first. But he's got a picture of Bernie Sanders, and I think he's a little ashamed of it. I don't know if he supports him or if he's making fun of him. I've never figured that out listening to Paul. He seems... I can't figure out his position on Bernie Sanders. But then again, isn't Bernie Sanders independent? I'm not sure Bernie Sanders knows what he is. I like the guy. I like the way he thinks. I don't know if he's like totally clean or has a clean record. I haven't looked too deeply into him, but I like the way he delivers his message and what he says. And he seems to be very supportive of veterans and the dearth of quality in the services given by Veterans Affairs today. In the news today, and we do have a couple of more dummy stuff to attack. Stabby says he's talking about what revival preachers do. Yeah, revival preachers do that. They rely on the nature of the exclamation given to the crowd in oratory skill and practice. It doesn't really matter what you're saying. This is what they've shown. It's about the tempo, the depth, the emphasis, and the well, tempo is kind of rhythm. I guess that those are hand in hand. But really, it is. I mean, that's what gets people frenzied. You'll see people talking in a rhythm almost as if they're delivering a poem. I mean, I'm not talking about iambic pentameter, but I wouldn't put it past a politician to engage in just such an act if it was going to get them what they wanted, which is to win, to get power, because that's what they want, most of them. Hitler had it, yes, Kim, and I'm not one to compare Obama to Hitler. However, I believe that their speaking skills were very similar, very similar. Their politics, not very similar. Speaking skills, very similar between Barack Obama and Hitler. And Hitler knew, he practiced over and over and over for years on his speaking skills. He started off in these little bars here and there where they, in Germany at the time, especially after World War I, where they were kind of feeling like the rejects, you could go and do this kind of open speaking about your politics or whatever you wanted to talk about. It was almost like open mic night for prose poetry in Germany all over the place. And niggas be drunk. They just say anything. So he would get up and speak a lot. He had a lot of opportunity to fine-tune his oratory, and he did. And he did it extremely well. And there are some studies that suggest that he was losing up to something like a half a gallon of sweat per speech once he took power. He really put heart into it. And I think that can play into turning an average person into someone that will support the mechanism of evil. They didn't see it then, folks. They really did. They didn't. Most German citizens had no idea about the Jewish camps. And if they did know about them, they thought that they were just being, held there temporarily. It was only afterwards that most of the people that supported the Nazi Party knew the atrocities. They were just starting to get a feel for it, hearing the field reports from other news agencies about what was going on in, for example, Russia, when they were moving east to take over Russia, and from some of the French people about the atrocities committed there. And they were starting to get some feedback, and I think they were starting to see it, but by then it was all collapsing around them. And then, of course, the illuminating studies came out about the Holocaust and a great many other atrocities, including the false story that perpetuated the war to begin with. Hitler had planned on war from his first day, and he was preaching that he was against war. So you never know what you're going to get. The good thing about America is we've got a bunch of people watching the man in charge, and they have power, and there's a checks and balances system that can definitely keep us from going too crazy and ending up like a post-World War I Germany where the power is ripe for the taking, and in their body, who can speak can take it. Stalin prolonged the war. Did he, Apocalypse? I know that Stalin was incredibly pissed off, and there were very bad things done by Russians to Germans when they invaded, coming from the east, in retaliation, and I don't blame them. If you want to know who paid, now I know that England got the shit kicked out of it by the Blitzkrieg, and I have respect for them, but nobody paid as much as the Russians. And we Americans, some of the more cocky Americans that think we did everything, shut the fuck up, Yeah, we lost some people, but look at what Russia lost. Look at what England went through. We didn't have to worry